Well, hello there, Aries. How are you? It is so good to see you. I'm Aries June. I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we are doing your June general tarot reading. So we'll take a look at the overall energies with the oracle cards, and then we'll move to the tarot for more details. And if you're enjoying the content that I create or resonating with the message, I'd really appreciate it if you would consider liking, commenting, or subscribing. I really do appreciate all of your support. Okay, so let's see what we have coming up for you in the month of June. Porcupine Spirit, time for beginner mind and discovering truth. You stand in the light of truth. Really interesting because Leo had the porcupine also. It is about understanding that you're coming into this new cycle, okay, with the porcupine energy, a new cycle, but it's about not repeating the same pattern that you may have had in previous situations, relationships, career, whatever. It's kind of like stepping into this truth of looking at what has occurred in the past, how you have kind of shown up in past relationships, situations, career, work-wise, whatever it is. It's kind of like, okay, I'm ready to start. I'm ready to break the patterns, but it's first recognizing what is the pattern, right? What is the pattern? And recognizing, okay, I am ready to break the pattern. But breaking the pattern means that we have to have a new mindset. Time for beginner's mind, right? Looking at the situation in a new light, not repeating the same type of mindset. And you have a new romantic cycle begins. So if this is, I don't jump into romance quickly, but if this is a new romantic cycle for you, understanding that you don't want to repeat the same mindset or the same behaviors that you may have had in previous relationships. It's a time to break that cycle so that you can find the success that you are looking for in this new romantic relationship. Now, if it's not romance, okay, it's something near and dear to your heart with that romance card showing up. So it could be a business that you are wanting to start, a new career, starting a new hobby, going in some new direction. Because you have deserving and then you have the honoring pathway here. I feel as if for some of you, this is something that, if it is a romantic relationship, or if it's a new job or a career, it's understanding this is something that you are truly wanting, whether you recognize it or not. And even if you are already perhaps in a career that you don't want to leave, or a relationship that you don't want to leave, it is time for you to have a new mindset about how you are showing up in that relationship. It's about creating healthy boundaries, perhaps, or just understanding. Perhaps it's about understanding the perspective of other people that you are dealing with. Wow, this is beautiful. Okay, it's about holding on to your vision of what it is that you want, but also not allowing your fears to prevent you from showing up in your true light. Okay, so there's an energy here where there's something that you really and truly want, okay? It could be a romantic relationship, but it's something that's near and dear to your heart. It could be something that you're trying to purchase. It could be a new business. It could be a new romantic relationship. But here's the thing. It's about holding on to your vision, but understanding that you have to go towards whatever it is that you are wanting in a new way. You can't repeat the same type of behaviors that you had in the past. It's allowing yourself to see the truth of why you have shown up with fear in the past, because fear is at the base of whatever this mindset pattern or behavior pattern is. Understanding, looking at the truth, okay, finding the truth in why you are showing up in this pattern, okay, or in this mindset. Okay, so for instance, maybe maybe you're starting a new job, or maybe you're even in a job, but you're kind of wanting a fresh start in this job, whatever it is. It's understanding, okay, when I go to work, I do all of my work and I do everybody else's work because they work too slow or whatever. That could be what you're telling yourself. But down deep inside, okay, you could have the fear that you might lose your job if you don't like overcompensate for something that you think you're lacking in, okay? Maybe you feel like you're not a very good speaker, so you're spending a lot of time organizing other things, right? You're overcompensating. There's almost this sense of your fear is you feel like you're not enough in one area, so you're overcompensating in another area. It's understanding, no, you are enough, Aries. The truth is that you are enough. You don't have to overcompensate. Because when you overcompensate, you are actually creating unhealthy boundaries. When you are saying to yourself, well, I'm helping other people because they don't work as fast as I do, so I'm taking on their work. You're creating an unhealthy boundary. You're taking in more work for yourself, right? You're not allowing other people to do their own work or whatever the situation is. You're creating somehow some kind of codependent energy here based on your fear of feeling, well, if I don't overcompensate for this other issue that you think is a flaw, okay, it's really not. But you have kind of somehow your fears, your ego has blown out the out of proportion this flaw that you think you have. And therefore, you're kind of overcompensating in other areas. It's actually creating a codependent type of situation. And therefore, it won't last. It becomes toxic. So you have a new fresh start coming in here. It's understanding where are you creating, and it's coming from the good of your heart, okay? That's the hard thing, is that, it's kind of like a little bit, like I have 3 grown children, right? And a lot of times when we're raising our children, right, we can try to do too much for them, right? And then in the end, it's a little bit, well, I don't want them to be unhappy, or I don't want them to be stressed or anxious. But then they become adults and they can't do for themselves, right? It's kind of like that type of energy. It comes from a loving place, and yet at the same time, what you're doing is creating codependent energies, okay, within your situation, whatever this is. And it's time to break that pattern. It's just time to recognize, see the truth, and then say, okay, wait a minute. I understand why I'm doing this, okay? I'm understanding the fear of rejection, abandonment, that I'm not enough, okay? I understand that truth, and now I'm going to proceed in a new way. Really interesting. I think it's interesting because we have, the summer equinox coming up June 21st here in the Northern Hemisphere. It's kind of like coming into that energy of, wow, I want to proceed in a new way. I want to, even if it's the same relationship, the same job or something, it's kind of like, okay, wait a minute. I recognize why I'm doing this, and I want to change my habits. Because it is going to take strength to understand that you deserve what it is that you want. You're actually self-sabotaging your own romantic relationship or your career, your job, whatever this is, whatever the situation is, and it's going to be different for each of you. It's kind of like you're self-sabotaging it yourself. Yeah, it's about putting your creative energy into action. It's understanding that why you're doing that, right? It's understanding the fear, and it could come from childhood. It could come from a previous life, but you're breaking this habit. You're breaking this mindset. That is the really exciting part, is that once you Allow yourself to see the truth behind this. It's like things change drastically for you in a positive way, Aries, in a very positive way. Yeah, so trust the guidance you're receiving. Emotions are running high. I think you're emotional about this situation, and the reason is because you really have done it in a very loving way, okay? You've created this codependent, that's the only way I can describe it, kind of a little bit of a codependent energy out of a love for yourself, but for other people, thinking that you're helping somebody else, thinking that you're giving very lovingly to somebody else, but you're only creating this codependent energy. Understanding why did you allow that to happen? Why did you allow yourself to give too much to the situation? Looking at that fear of understanding, oh my goodness, I just was afraid this person would leave me, or I would be alone, or I would lose my job, whatever the situation is, right? Because it's been holding you back from the relationship that you deserve, the career that you deserve, the accolades, the physical, tangible things that you have been wanting. You've kind of like delayed this, okay, with the Nine of Wands here. You kind of delayed it because you, for some time, have it like, no, I don't want to really look at the truth of this situation. You know, the truth is, and we've all been there, right? When we actually look at the fear itself, it is so minuscule compared to what we have portrayed it, you know, to be. When we finally take a look at it, it's kind of like, yeah, when you shine the light on your fears, it's kind of like they diminish. It's just like recognizing it, looking at it, instead of trying to, we put so much time and energy into keeping our fears at bay, right? Not letting anybody see them. It's about, okay, I'm going to shine light on this, because as soon as I shine light on this fear, when I recognize that the truth is that I am enough. I don't have to overcompensate anymore. I am enough. This flaw, why is this flaw become this big thing in my mind? Because of something somebody said when you were a child, right? It's like a childhood wound, or a past life wound, or a wound from a past relationship. It's kind of like, yeah, that's where that came from. Okay, fine. I know that that's not true. I know that I'm enough. And then you can step into this energy, this situation, with a much clearer insight. So let's take a look at what your advice is. Yeah, the energy is gaining momentum. Just understanding that, you know, you are ready for more. You are ready for more. The thing that is holding you back is your own fears. The thing that is holding you back, you see how there's this shadowy figure in the back, is what somebody said or did at some point in the past. It kind of almost like scarred your heart, scarred you in some way, for you to think, I'm not good enough. I don't deserve what I truly want. So you've been like self-sabotaging. This has all been part of your path. And now you're seeing the light. You're seeing how you have been holding yourself back, whereas you may have been thinking, well, I'm just, you know, things aren't going to work out for me, or there's no good partners out there. There's no good opportunities out there. As understanding, no, there are good opportunities. Perhaps it's the way that you have in some way brought a little bit of a self-sabotaging energy to the situations in order to keep yourself safe, okay, from feeling like you're not enough. And you've done that by overcompensating in some area, okay? Yeah. Yeah, this is beautiful, because look, you've been putting time and energy into an old mindset, okay? Once again, I'm going to say this could come from childhood, right? You've been putting a lot of time and energy into this old mindset of the Hierophant is the belief system that you may have grown up with, right? Now you're bringing balance into it. You're understanding, wait a minute, I don't have to overcompensate. You could have grown up, maybe, you know, your parents or your family, something like that. Like if you didn't if you didn't perform really high, then you didn't get any accolades or something like that. You may have felt like there was a lot of competition, or you may feel like, well, there's a lot of competition in the romantic arena, right? Or there's a lot of competition in my workspace, right? It's understanding, no, wait a minute. We all have our strengths and weaknesses, right? Your strengths and weaknesses, it's about dwelling on your strengths and not dwelling on your weaknesses. It's understanding, okay, wait a minute, I can celebrate. There's enough for all of us. I don't have to compete so much with other people. Yeah, really beautiful energy there. Something that we all kind of sometimes need to be reminded of, I'll have to say, right? Okay, so let's pull a soul truth card for you. And Aries, I do personal readings. So if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. All right, what risk can I take today? Yeah, taking a risk. Looking at the fears that maybe are holding you back and asking yourself, why do I have that fear? Shining light on it and recognizing that as soon as you shine light on it, the fear will kind of dissipate. It kind of goes away. Be not mistaken, you will have to take bigger risks than you ever thought possible on this path towards your dreams. You will have to take the big, scary leap. But do not fret, because your soul has wings. In other words, you are ready for this. You are ready to break this pattern, right? You're ready to take a look at the fear of why you're allowing this self-sabotaging energy to come into play in a situation, something that you are really and truly wanting for yourself. When you break that pattern, when you just shine the light on it, that's really all you have to do, is shine the light on it. And it truly transforms your life. All right, I'm going to leave it there, Aries. I really do wish you much love and light in this situation, all your situations. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.